Hello Dave is brought to you ad-free by my supporters on Patreon. Become a Patreon yourself and get your name listed as a supporter at the end of every video by following the link in the video description. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hello Dave with Down to Earth Astronomy. It's time for a news update, and today we're going to be talking about some leaked information that might have been coming out of a meeting that Frontier's been holding with some of the more prominent community people around Elite, including some information maybe about the Panther Clipper. And at the end, we're going to be talking about the next live stream I have, where you have an opportunity to join in and fly with me doing the live stream itself. But let's start, of course, with the main news of today. So just to get you guys up to speed, in case you don't know. Last week, Frontier held a meeting where they invited a handful, or maybe, I don't know actually how many, but a very limited number of YouTubers, streamers, and prominent community people that will be leaders of large player groups or large communities around the game. These people were invited over to Frontier's office, where they were shown alpha gameplay, or at least there was shown some information to them regarding what was going to come in the next Q4 update. And the main reason why Frontier did this is, as far as I know, according to Frontier themselves at least, was to get feedback. They wanted to get some feedback before they got the information out, probably. But Sunday evening, I was made aware, which is now, basically just now, I was made aware that on the Elite Wiki page under the Beyond series, so on the Beyond series page on the Elite Wiki, there was posted a comment with a link to a WordPress site where some of the information apparently was leaked. And again, I have not been able to completely validate this source. I mean, as any other journalist, of course, I would have to try and report on this, but I always try to see if I can validate things like this. I've not been able to completely validate it, so take whatever you're about to hear with a grain of salt, because I don't actually know that much about the source itself. So it might just be, well, details might be inaccurate, we don't know. And I haven't been able to trace it all the way back to who actually leaked it, of course. And that would make sense since the people who were at the meeting was under an NDA. So, of course, I guess they wouldn't want to go out and talk too much about it. I'm not going to go into every single detail. A lot of the stuff in there we already know about, like the 3 weapons that are going to be used for mining, for like one for surface, one for subsurface, and one for deep core mining. There's a little bit more fine-grained details about that, but I'm not going to dive too much into that. I have 3 main points here that I want to go through. One of them is apparently a Xeno trader is going to be introduced. That's going to work much the same way as the raw material, the encoded, and the manufactured traders, but the Xeno trader allows you to trade Guardian and Thargoid materials. That means that now it seems that now you're going to be able to take, let's say you needed Sentinel weapon parts or Guardian technology components or something like that. You're now going to be able to cross-trade between them just as you could with any other materials, making the whole unlocking modules a lot easier, because you don't have to go and farm for a specific module that might be very difficult to get in some cases. And I guess also the blueprint parts, you're going to be able to trade those across somehow. So if you have a bunch of blueprints of one type, you can just cross-take them over to the other type, so you can get exactly what you need. So I think that's if this is going to be introduced, I think that's going to be an absolute wonderful change. More quality of life updates is always a welcome change. Now the 2 other things are both ships that seems to be added into the game. Now the first one is, well, we pretty much already had a strong idea about this. This is the Crate Phantom. And I'm just going to quickly read to you a small description that was posted on the WordPress site about the Crate Phantom. So it says here, like its sister ship, the Crate Mark II, the Phantom was inspired by one of the Falcon Dalashi earliest model, the Crate Lightspeeder. Although the new ship is larger than the original, it possesses many of the same characteristics, emphasis on speed, maneuverability, and firepower over defensive capabilities. While it lacks the fighter bay of the Mark II, the Phantom is notably faster and lighter. So there's a few interesting things here. Of course, no fighter bay. The ship, it says it's larger, so I expect it to still be a medium. I don't think it's going to be a large ship. I think it's still going to be medium, and I'm going to come back to that in a bit. But I think it's still going to be a medium ship, where you basically lose the fighter bay to gain a little bit more speed and more maneuverability. So if you think the Crate Mark II was fast and maneuverable, then you ain't seen nothing yet, it seems. Because actually the internal compartments, the loadout of both internal compartments, core internals, and hardpoints was also listed in there. And if the information here holds true, then the only changes to the internals compared to the Crate Mark II is that the Crate Phantom gets a one step up on the fuel tank, so it gets a larger fuel tank, which is double the fuel size, so that's quite significant. And it loses a class 3 internal slots. Other than that, it is completely the same. And I'm expecting it to visually also be almost identical to the existing crate. Again, maybe it's like dimensions, maybe a little bit more fat around the corners, I don't know. But at least you're going to be able to completely swap over all core internals and all other modules. But you are going to lose your fighter hangar, and you're going to lose your one of your class 3 slots. But again, hard points is going to be the same. That's going to make this a very, very interesting ship, I think, because of course we have seen no stats compared to what it's actually going to be like in terms of defense. Like, what's its base shield going to be like? What's its base armor going to be like? We don't know that, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, and if this information is actually holding true. And next one, the one that we have all been waiting for. It's been a talking point for years, and that is the Panther Clipper. It was listed in there, though the information was limited. Unfortunately, the optional internals was not listed, which is really the most interesting part of the ship, I must say. But it was not listed. But we know that it's gonna be the ship that can hold the largest amount of cargo in the game. It's also said in there that it is going to be able to go on a large landing pad. So there's no need to go to like special extra docking slots. Of course, it will need a large landing pad, but you can get it in through a mail slot. You can land it on a landing pad. So again, expecting this to be absolutely humongous. And it also said in there that it's going to require quite a bit of skill to get this thing through the docking hatch. So expecting not a lot of space up and between you and the docking hatch when you fly through with that thing. But the core internals was listed, and again, if this holds true, it's going to be a class 7 power plant, a class 8 thruster, a class 7 FSD, class 7 life support, class 7 power distributor, class 5 sensors, and a class 7 fuel tank. Hardpoint wise, it was listed with 5 small and 2 medium hardpoints. So again, its offensive capabilities is of course not going to be great, but this is going to be one hell of a mining ship, because as far as I know, the modules that we're going to be used for mining, all the new modules, is going to come only in small and medium sizes. So that would make this a pretty much ideal mining ship, I think. Huge cargo hold, hopefully lots. That will mean lots and lots of internal compartments, so we have lots of room to spend for all our refineries and all our limpet controllers and stuff like that. And then 8 utility slots, gonna allow you to try to buff up that shield hit point, so you can take a little bit of a beating just in case you get interdicted by a pirate. But yeah, as I said, take this information for what it is. And you know that I haven't been able to completely verify it, but this is what I was able to gather as of this moment. Now, the article in there was called Part 1, so, and it did say to be continued. So I do expect more information to come in there at some point. I'm going to link to both the wiki page where the comment was posted, and I'm also going to link directly to the WordPress in the comment section down below. So you can check out the information for yourself. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to do shoutouts for like various Elite Dangerous communities, because there's a ton of good communities out there, just to try and help people find their place if they need someone to play with. Now, today's shoutout goes out to the Independent Defense Agency. Now, these guys are a new player friendly, that is focused around helping people progress in the game. And they even said in the email that is why they reached out to me specifically, because they feel like their goals align much with what I'm trying to do with the channel, to try to help people progress through the game and get over some of the grind wall, make the game a little bit more entertaining maybe. They do host, it seems, a lot of events. It goes from various PvP mini games like Plasma Tag, around community goals. They fly out there in fleets and patrol the community goals. It seems like they are hunting people, so they are hunting PvPers, hunting the people at the community goals. So they're hunting pirates and griefers at the community goals. They also do various types of PvE. And in general, it seems to be a new player-friendly flight school. So if you are interested in maybe learning a little bit of PvP and you are new to the game, that might be a place to start. I'm going to link to their homepage in the description as well. It's going to be full of links today, it seems. And from there you can go and you can find the Discord. So check it out if you're interested in something like that. But talking about communities and events, tomorrow I am hosting another open live stream. And that means that I'm inviting everybody that is interested from my Discord server. So if you just join the Discord, you're more than welcome to be there. To join me on my Tuesday live stream. Tomorrow we will be helping out my community's player faction, the Terra X Astro Corp. We have a few factions that we need to keep busy. We distract them while things are happening other places. And the faction planning team has already engineered a war that's going to start on Tuesday. So we'll be heading out to that war to keep those factions occupied. And the system we're going to, there's more information on Discord, so go over there and look at the news channel. I made a whole post about it there if you want the details. But basically we're going to head to a system. You will need a medium ship. No large ships, there is no large landing pad in system, so you can't hand in your bounties or your combat bounce if you're in a large ship. So only medium ships that can go into a conflict zone. We're going to wing up in wings of 4. We're going to spread out through the system, and we're going to hand in as many bounties as we can. And I think it's going to be fun to try and take a group of medium ships out and go into a conflict zone. Maybe get a little bit of a challenge. We've done it before with large ships, like where you just sit 4 corvettes or cutters in there. It's not really a challenge. Things just explode before you even get a chance to log it. So I hope taking medium ships in is going to make it a little bit more interesting, and you actually have to try and fight together and do a little bit more communication. So anyway, if you're interested in joining, I know that this is a very last minute announcement, but we have to make sure that the war that we wanted was actually going to be in place. So these things will always have no more than 3 days head notice. Of course, it was announced over on Discord way in advance. So if you're over there, hopefully you've already seen that post. But they'll give you about 1 day notice to get your ship ready and get a medium ship. The system is called a mini. Again, everything is on Discord, so head over there if you want to join. And I hope to see a lot of guys at the live stream, because these live streams are usually a ton of fun, either if you can fly yourself or just watching in both on YouTube and on Twitch. So that's going to be it for today. I really hope that you found some of this information useful. If you didn't find the information useful, I don't know why you're watching this. This is probably some of the most interesting information that's been posted in a very long time. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.